Arjun, you're all set to play Arun Gowli in this gangster turned politician flick. Is it true that you parked yourself in a hotel actually for 2 months while penning down the script?
Yeah, that is true.
Really?
Yeah. Why did you thought I could write?
No, of course not. Of course not. But that writer's space, just like shut yourself off from the entire.
I actually started off with saying, okay, if I have to play him, I need to get to know him. Now, there's not much written about him. There's nothing on the internet, very little. And whatever bit that are in the books or whatever is like very, very minimal. So it was, about just doing research for myself as an actor. That's how it started. So I was just calling people, listening to their viewpoints about who Arun Gowli really is. So people from Dagri Chor, people, his family members, all of that. And I would write down all these points and certain incidents and scenes and situations that these people told me. And then I said, okay, fine, that's one point of view, but I also want to know the point of view of his rivals. So it was very important to get the point of view of people who did not like him that much. And I sent the script then to this friend of mine, Shimon Walia, who I'd done a lot of commercials with. And I liked him because he's a very reluctant filmmaker. He doesn't want to do the same thing. He doesn't want to repeat himself. So he said, I love it. As long as you promise me we're not putting an item song.
So you guys made conscious efforts to actually not end up like most gangster films.
When we have our songs, the songs are in the background, there's scenes happening around.
I agree there.
It is not that it has been forced in there and you say, Arey, abhi ye gana chalu ho gaya, abhi khatam ho gaya.
But do you think Bollywood films fall prey to the whole stereotype of gangster films, and do they glorify gangsters?
You kind of end up doing it because what we do is, mostly when you do a biopic, and this is the first time actually a biopic's been made, right? With the authority of a man who's a living person. It's never happened before. So it's the first time it's being made. So you have to be true to the character. He's a living person, we're not going to make it like he's jumping over roofs or whatever. Arun Gowli didn't do that stuff. So we can't have him do that stuff. Also, what happens is why we I get scared sometimes of doing biopics is because they go very linear in their way of storytelling. So it's just one person's point of view and that one person's life. So you end up kind of being biased towards that person. So you really don't go into another person's point of view of that person, or what that person's experience was. With this film, but as we researched it, we wanted the script to be like exactly how our research is. Finding out who Arun Gowli really is through people who knew him and putting those incidents together. So then you have a point of view of a mother, a wife, which would be his point of views, more or less a bias towards him. But then you have a point of view of a traitor, of a person who hated him, a person who's his rival, the point of view of the police.
Any gangster films from Bollywood which you think have been very fair in the portrayal of the characters?
I think the only one which I can talk about is Satya. Was kind of gritty and nice, and I think Manoj was fantastic in it. Mm-hmm. Also, another thing which was very interesting for me was that how crime has so many faces, actually. You call these guys the gangsters, and Arun Gowli or whatever, but actually what about the guys who started the unions, who shut down the mills? Okay, then the mill people came to the gangsters to say get rid of the unions. You get rid of the unions, the land gets free, the politicians land up there saying, oh, let me get a piece of this pie.
I'm coming to that. Do you think politicians and gangsters are two sides of the same coin?
I think we as society are. We all are living like that. We choose to ignore it, okay? And that's why we are fascinated by it when it's me. Because we don't want to jump on that side of the coin. But we all are two sides of the coin. Somewhere, by ignoring it, you are also being an accomplice to it. So I think we all are. For me, after I did this movie, it's really the way I look at slums, the way I look at, people living dysfunctionally, in small homes and small rooms. And that's right bang on Carter Road, prime property. You've got all of this happening right there, and you're driving past, And what do? We put our window up, we don't want the smell coming in, and we look towards the ocean. What's happening in there? Those are people who don't have any justice or fairness happening towards in their lives. What are they going to do? They're going to tilt towards crime, right?
What do you think? Should gangsters be allowed to be a part of the parliament?
Tell me one thing. It's a debatable question. And a person does something wrong, whatever his reasons are. He goes to jail. Okay, we send him to jail. Serves his time, comes up, saying I'm reformed. Right? Does society actually believe it? So why have jails? Why give sentences? You are a criminal, you have a criminal record.
Stamped for life.
You're stamped for life. Are you going to be given a second chance? What is that person going to do? That person's going to go back to that world, right?
What's your take when people say that, corruption in politics is a lot to do with criminals being a part of politics?
I think corruption is somehow, unfortunately, in an Indian's DNA. Since you have, it's not just a politician or...
They'll call you British for saying that.
No, they cannot call me anything because it is the truth. I'm glad that we are getting aware of it. I'm glad you have a medium where you can talk about it and say, listen, man, let us not have such a cesspool that we live in. We do. I mean, look at our films today, the films that we make. We treat our audiences like children. We have to sanitize everything. We have to make everything absolutely clean. We have to do it in a particular manner. So, India looks beautiful and clean in every movie. But is that the real face of India? No, it's not. So why are we so pretentious? It's society. Society's thinking needs to change. Automatically your leaders will also say, okay, keep it. This is not working anymore. And you're seeing that happen. I'm glad I'm seeing that happen. When the government today is taking strong steps, to clean out corruption, to work towards it, to bring systems in place which are functional, to cut down the different levels of bureaucracy that one had to go through to get permissions and whatever. So many more hands and mouths and everything to feed along the way. It's all being cleaned up.
Cool. Let me come to the title of your film, Daddy, and decode it. Coming to Bollywood in terms of Daddy, does it help having a big daddy in Bollywood?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it does. For sure.
Have you ever had a big daddy in Bollywood?
No, I am the daddy.
Any strong names in the industry, according to you?
I think Amit ji for me is like a great example of being a man who's been extremely fair, a man who really is the perfect ambassador for as an actor.
You've come a long way from, say, Pyar Ishq Aur Mohabbat in 2001, there's been Rock On, there's been Rajneeti. I loved your performance personally, and last outing being Kahani 2, We Are Family, another one. Do you think that stardom's been elusive to you in some ways?
No, I'd say I've always wanted to work as an actor and not really as a star. So that doesn't bother me. I've been a star since the age of 17. When I was a model or whatever. So I have seen fame very closely. I still see it. I love the adulation. It's not that I don't. And that adulation and that love allows me to have opportunities to do the kind of work that I want to do. The kind of work I want to do is what I'm about.
I was going through an open forum where a lot of your fans were having a discussion and they said that he's underrated as an actor. How do you react to those comments? Do you think you are underrated?
I don't think you rate an actor. I don't think you do it. I think you discover an actor. And an actor has to also keep discovering himself.
You've grown tremendously.
I hope so.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. I don't feel much taller.
As an actor? You're one of those few actors who turned into actors as models. I believe there were lots who started off at the same time, like Dino Moria, there was Arjun, Milind Soman, you and John. You and John have triumphed. Do you think there's always a blonde stereotype that follows models who turn actors?
See, these are stereotypes made by who? By perception of media, by perception of writing and information that's been given to you.
Did that stereotype ever chase you down?
Yeah, of course. When I started right in the beginning, it was a nightmare. You know, everybody was like, oh, that's a model. You know, immediately you had that tag, as opposed to coming without any baggage. I love modeling. I never wanted to be an actor then. Okay? But when I started working in this medium, I started understanding the medium, and that's what excited me, and said, okay, fine, I maybe would like to do something like this, you know. And I started looking at films from that level. But the day I decided I was going to do films, I stopped modeling completely.
Okay.
And that was right at my peak. Okay, and that took me 8 years for my first film to get made. Okay. Very conscious, because yes, there is stereotypes, you know, which you make a stereotype kind of thing, a model's contact. I said, I'm going to break it. I was very clear about it in my head. Okay. So you keep them quiet when you win a national award, and you know, you do all of that, you break all of that. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Your heart has to be in the right place to do it.
Completely agree with you. Your heart has to be in the right place. You have to be passionate about it. Do you think even superstars need to reinvent themselves, considering, you know, Salman's Tube Light bombed at the box office, Shah Rukh's Jab Harry Met Sejal is not opened to very encouraging figures. Do you think that superstars also need to keep in reinventing?
I think they try. Nobody is trying to do the same thing. You know, I think you can't just take one film or two films in a person's career. It is about submitting to a story and to a script. Nothing is bigger than a script, and nothing is bigger than a story. Okay, no superstars. Okay, no, nobody is. The thing who is the star of your film is your story and your script. To submit to a director who's going to be a storyteller, to go into that and approach it with that, and not be you, and don't take your image in. I don't want to see, like, I mean, when I did this movie, if you can surprise yourself, I'm sure you will surprise others.
Wish you all the best, and I hope you turn out to be the big daddy at the box office. Thank you so much for talking to us here at Republic TV, Arjun.
Thank you.